Hey everyone, welcome back to Edgeverse, where we dive deep into the stories that shaped our world and sometimes the ones that were deliberately hidden. Today, we're tackling something that's as relevant now as it was thousands of years ago: how Imperial China mastered the art of controlling information. Imagine a world where books are burned, scholars are buried alive, and even a poem could get you executed. Sounds like dystopian fiction? Nope, that's real history from one of the longest lasting empires ever. But why does this matter to you, sitting there in 2026 with your phone buzzing with notifications? Because the tricks ancient Chinese emperors used to silence dissent? They're echoing in our digital age. Think content moderation, fake news crackdowns, and self-censorship on social media. Stick around as we unpack how China's dynasties turned censorship from brute force into a subtle science. This is going to be eye-opening. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on more hidden histories. Let's jump in. First off, let's set the stage. Imperial China wasn't just about grand walls and silk roads, it was a masterclass in power through information control. We're talking over 2,000 years of rulers who knew that controlling what people read, think, and say was key to staying on the throne. It started crude and got sneaky, evolving from destroying books to making people police their own thoughts. We'll trace this from the Qin dynasty's fiery purges, through the Tang and Song's smart systems, to the Ming and Qing's paranoid hunts. And yeah, we'll connect it to today, because history doesn't stay buried. Before we get to the heavy stuff, picture this. Back in the Warring States period, around 475 to 221 BC, China was a hotbed of ideas. Philosophers were everywhere: Confucians preaching harmony, Taoists going with the flow, legalists pushing strict laws, Mahists talking universal love. It was intellectual chaos, vibrant but messy. Different states backed different schools, like rival teams in a debate league. But when one state wins it all, that pluralism becomes a problem. Enter Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor who unified China in 221 BC. So, how do you glue together a fractured empire? Qin Shi Huang had a plan: crush the competition, not just on the battlefield, but in people's minds. His chancellor, Li Si, pitched the idea: suppress all that noisy debate to unify thought. And boy, did they deliver. In 213 BCE, they launched the infamous burning of books and burying of scholars. Non-useful books, philosophy, histories from old states, anything not about farming, medicine, or fortune-telling gone. Poof, into the fire. But it wasn't just books. The next year, about 460 scholars who owned forbidden texts buried alive. Yeah, you heard that right. Even the emperor's son called him out on it, but Qin Shi Huang wasn't messing around. Why so extreme? It wiped out rival ideas, terrorized survivors into silence, and let the state rewrite history. No more competing philosophies, just the state's legalist vibe. Scholars hid, fled, or died. The buzzing debate? Silenced overnight. Rhetorical question time. Ever wonder what we'd lose if all non-government approved info vanished today? The Qin set a scary precedent. Empires need unified ideas to survive. Later dynasties thought, cool, but let's make it less messy. Fast forward to the Tang and Song eras: 618 to 907 for Tang, 960 to 1279 for Song. These guys swapped outright violence for something slicker, institutions that made you want to conform. Enter the imperial examination system. On the surface, meritocracy gold. Study hard, pass tests on Confucian classics, climb the bureaucracy ladder. But dig deeper, it was an ideological boot camp. You had to master state-approved texts and interpretations. No room for wild ideas, stick to the script, or kiss your career goodbye. Thousands of ambitious folks spent years cramming orthodoxy, turning personal drive into state loyalty. Genius, right? Censorship flipped from "don't do that" to "why would you even think that?" They controlled texts too. Before printing exploded, the state decided what got copied in official workshops. Dissenting voices? buried under sanction stuff. In the Song, Neo-Confucianism became the big boss, thanks to thinkers like Zhu Xi. Exams demanded you parrot their takes on classics. Old interpretations faded away. And the vibe? Subtle pressure everywhere. Deviate, and you'd face stalled promotions, whispers, or worse. No mass graves, but a chill that made you self-edit. Scholars learned, some questions aren't worth asking. Was this better than Qin's bonfires? In a way, yeah, less blood, more brains. But it channeled talent away from critique toward safe, state-friendly paths. Intellectual spark? Dimmed. Now, let's crank up the paranoia with the Ming and Qing dynasties, 1368 to 1644 for Ming, 1644 to 1912 for Qing. These were the peak of literary inquisitions, where words could kill. The Ming founder, Zhi Yuanzhang, fresh from kicking out the Mongols, was obsessed with loyalty. Literature? Prime suspect for hidden jabs. A poem with a double meaning? Boom, sedition. They built a censorship machine. Officials scanned books, rivals snitched, even letters got eyeballed. Punishments? Harsh execution for you, and often your family or buddies too. It encouraged spying. Report a suspicious line. Save your skin. Case in point, scholars got nailed for history books that allegedly shaded current rulers via ancient tales, or poetry with metaphors that might criticize. To us now, often ridiculous stretches. But that was the point, anyone could be next. No one was safe, so everyone played it ultra-safe. Originality? Risky. Stick to bland, orthodox stuff. Many stopped writing edgy thoughts altogether. Conversations stayed off the record. Fear froze innovation. The result? A perfected chilling effect. One public execution deterred hundreds. Self-censorship hit God tier. You didn't need guards. Scholars policed themselves. Rhetorical question, sound familiar? Think about how you hesitate before posting something controversial online today. Now, let's zoom out and analyze this evolution. From Qin to Qing, methods got fancier, but the goal stayed the same. No rivals to state ideology. Qin used fire and pits, direct, brutal. Tang added incentives via exams, smart, subtle. Ming-Qing mixed bureaucracy with targeted terror, efficient paranoia. Key pattern? Control texts, control minds. Destroy them, gatekeep them, or hunt heretics in them. But the real MVP? Self-censorship. When people internalize fear, they censor themselves, no effort from the state. Occasional punishments kept the machine oiled via surveillance and snitches. It wasn't just blocking ideas, it reshaped what you could even imagine. Lost philosophies? Gone forever. Future generations couldn't dream up alternatives. This legacy didn't vanish in 1912 with the last emperor. 20th century China, nationalists, communists, borrowed the playbook, media control, thought policing. And globally, it's everywhere now. Digital platforms moderate content like Ming censors. Algorithms push safe views like exam orthodoxy. Self-censorship thrives under surveillance fears. Ever deleted a draft tweet because what if? Imperial China shows truth isn't bulletproof. It needs guards. Without free speech protections, power grabs narratives. Democracies assume facts win out, but history says nope. Active defense required, or we slide into subtle control. Wrapping this up, China's dynasties turned censorship into a power tool, from flames to fear. Qin started it raw, Tang smoothed it, Ming-Qing mastered it. The big lesson? True censorship wins when we do it to ourselves. It shapes not just what we say, but what we think. So, what do you think? Does this history mirror our world too closely? Drop a comment below. Have you self-censored lately? Like if this blew your mind, subscribe for more deep dives into power's dark side. Hit the bell. Next up, we're exploring forgotten rebellions. Thanks for watching. Stay curious, stay free. Peace out.